can we just get into it for a second, because I'm actually obsessed with the new setup I have, and I feel like it's actually what I needed to just help keep me on freaking track, dude. Like, I've just been tripping. Anyway, what's good, you guys? It's Nick, your average girl, and I am back in action, folks. Okay, I fell off for a little bit, per usual. Don't mind the door. My cat is literally being a psycho, so I had to get him up out of here. Anyways, so I'm excited to get back to making content consistently for you guys, to getting back to my podcast. I definitely fell off, and I think I just have some more things in line to where I'm going to be able to really commit to you guys and creating my content and my page and whatnot. So, that being said, he's so crazy. That being said, I got this episode here for you guys, and I tend to talk about dating stuff a lot on this podcast, which I feel like really fits me because I am just obsessed with the thought of love, even though I really don't ever find it. But that's fine. So, really what I want to focus on today is short-lived relationships or situationships or whatever. And obviously, I talk about what kind of relates to me or what I can relate to, because why would I talk about it otherwise? But I sometimes get so much shit for my relationships not lasting. And when I mean not lasting, like literally, they barely get past 3 months. Like, 3-month mark hits and I'm like, boom, it's done. And I get so much shit for that whenever I end up talking to someone else, and then they're like, oh, like, here we go, like, let's see how long this lasts. And I'm like, dang, like, why y'all gotta come for me like this? But I feel like I just need to kind of elaborate on why I feel like I do this, and also, like, the pros and cons, because honestly, I don't really think it's that bad. If I'm gonna be completely honest, like, I really don't think it's that bad. Like, I really don't. So, and even, we're going to include situationships too, because even without the title, like, I don't tend to, like, get to know people or, you know, vibe with them for that long either. So, it's all just going to go in the same basket here. Okay. So, pretty much, I know myself, and I like having the company of a partner. I do. And I think that's probably one of the cons, is that I rush into things with someone, or I rush into like a more serious situation than necessary, simply because I would rather have a partner than not have a partner. I like being booed up. I like cuddling up. And yeah, so I think that's kind of where it stems from, but I do. I rush into things, and pretty much once I meet someone that I see like the slightest, I mean, like, honestly, the slightest bit of potential. I'm not kidding. Like, literally, I've dated people for a long time. I dated people without cars. Like, that was my thing. I was like, they don't drive. I pretty much have to do the driving. And that was my thing. Okay. And I definitely got some shit for that. But then I find someone who does have a car. And I'm like, oh my God, he's so great. Like, he's literally the one. Okay. Because of that small little, yeah, it's pretty bad. Like, I'm fully aware that it's just terrible. So pretty much I've noticed, like, you know, with maybe not each and every, but over time, like, the relationships I've had, like, I find someone and I just kind of settle, and then I find the next person, and technically I'm still settling, but they're just like a little bit better, or have like a little better qualities than my previous ones. So I'm like, okay, yeah, like, they're great, everything's good. And that's not always the case. Okay. But I also think that's the point of dating, is that you get to know people, you figure out what you like, what you don't like, what you can tolerate. Okay, that's the biggest one, what you can tolerate and just what you can't. And that just kind of is what it is. And I feel like you learn a lot about yourself too within dating. So I feel like that's the point of dating, right? Like, I feel like my dating is just, it tends to be like more serious. Like, I don't really date around. Like, I don't really talk to multiple people at the same time. Like, and I don't talk seriously with people. Like, once I start talking to someone seriously, I kind of fall back from everyone else. And honestly, I just feel like that's just out of respect. Like, if I feel like we're vibing, like, I would feel a little goofy if you're vibing heavily with someone else. So, like, I just put my all into one person rather than splitting up the energy into other people. So, I kind of lost my train of thought. But that's the point of dating to me, and pretty much, like, that's why I go gung-ho, because I don't want to date around. I don't want to be intimate with more than one person. Like, I'd rather just be committed to the one and feel it out, see how it goes, and go from there. So, pretty much I find something a little bit better, and then I'm all in with the next person, like, pretty quickly. Like, I will probably say, like, I don't really have a huge, like, gap between the people that I date. The longest I've been single, I think, was, like, a year, and yeah, like, that's not very long, I don't think. I don't think that's very long. So yeah, like, no really situationships, nothing, no labels, like, you know, and I've had people here and there that, you know, I'll talk to for, like, a little bit, and yeah, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like I can't even say truly single, like, with no situationships, no nothing, for a year. I don't even think that. So yeah, like, that can be a bad look, but that's just what I prefer, and I really don't give a fuck what anyone has to say, because it's my life and I do what I want. So there's that. But I think that's just where it stems from, and like how this comes about. And then I guess I can move on to like a couple of the pros. Like, it's really not all bad, like, I swear. Okay, like, I'll get with someone and pretty much like I'm with them all the time. Like, we're really booed up. Okay, like, we're pretty much together with them all the time. We'll go out on dates, or I'm staying, you know, sleeping over with them all the time, and it's just like, yeah, constantly around. So it seems like a lot, and it seems very rushed, yes, but hear me out. I get to know them so much faster. Okay, when you are around someone and you're around the real them, like, once you're around like their comfortable environment, like what they're used to and whatever, you learn a lot about a person when you go out with them and your different friend groups. Like, you see how they interact with other people and just how they are, and I'd rather know that sooner than later. Like, honestly, like, that's what I like about it, is like, I learn so much about that person within this short amount of time, right? I'm seeing them in all these different scenes and these different, you know, environments and scenarios, and I'm seeing how they handle things. And the more we're together, the more likely we're going to have a disagreement, and then I want to see how we're going to handle that disagreement. Okay, like, what's the vibe? Because I know me, and I know my strengths and weaknesses when it comes to confrontation, conflict, like disagreements. Like, I know, and I've gotten better. So, like, I know when I can handle the conversation and when I can't handle the conversation. I know pretty much when I need to kind of like fall back and apologize, and when I'm really not going to bow down. Okay, so I want to see how that person handles it too, because I need to know if they know themselves well enough to know when, pretty much the same thing I just said, everything I said vice versa, like what they can handle and when they can handle it, I want to know sooner than later. So within those couple of months, like, I see it all. I see them mad, I see them irritated, I see them annoyed with me, I see them when they're really sweet to me, and when they're happy with me, and when they're in a good mood with me, and when we're out and about, and I see all of it. I see it all. So it's just like, great, I'm getting to know these things, and I notice things that how do I say it? I notice things that could be a potential issue down the road. So I peeped this very early on, okay? Because I sense it, I trust my gut, like my intuition, I do trust, because more times than not, I'm right, and I just choose to ignore it, which is a whole nother conversation. But I can sense these things, and I see these things earlier on. So then they can be talked about, they can be worked out maybe, or discussed in some way, shape, or form. And I think the biggest pro for me is that I'm not investing years into a relationship that is not going to work. And that is why I think I like, or that's like a pro of the way that just how I am, because I know so many people that invest years into a person. Years, like, that is a long time. Okay, even a year. Clearly, because I can't even make it to a full year of dating someone. Like, that is a long time. So for you to not really truly know them, and maybe you do truly know them, and I'm sure there's like other things that, you know, play a role, but like, I think, sorry, I think there's a hair on my mouth. Ooh, I look juicy today. Hello. Come on, skin. Sorry, a little sidetracked. But honestly, like, when I'm just talking to someone for a couple months, like, obviously I like them, I care for them, that's why I'm investing so much time into them. But when you are dating someone or you have a partner for years, you're growing like an attachment to them. And I feel like that's what makes it harder to separate from a toxic relationship or a relationship you just know isn't gonna last. So when you have all this time to grow attachment, you know, like, maybe you guys have responsibilities, like maybe over the years that you guys get a house together or you have kids, like, those are now responsibilities that are making you hold on to something that I feel like most of us know when it's not going to be forever. And I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I genuinely know, like, if it's going to be a forever thing or if it's not going to be a forever thing, and it's more just like for funsies, or it's a learning lesson, or it's something different. And you know, I think when you date someone and you invest all that time into them, like, I don't know, like, you're just kind of like digging yourself in a deeper hole of things that could go wrong, or making things harder down the line, I should say, more so. Like, so yeah, maybe my relationships don't last that long, but literally, I kind of already just know that, and I'm just like here for the ride, but that attachment isn't there. Like, and I feel like that just sounds so bad coming out of my mouth, but like, honestly, it's just more so like, you obviously care for them, but you don't feel obligated. And I feel like whenever my relationships end, like, low-key, I think the other person feels very similarly. Like, you don't have that obligation to me. Like, it's been just a little bit. We were testing the waters. We had good times. We had some not good times. And I feel like when you just don't have that much time, then it's more of a mutual thing. And, like, I don't talk to a lot of my exes personally, but I just feel like it's because we knew, like, we just did not really vibe on that level. So, like, there really is not much of a point. And I have a podcast on this, but, like, yeah, like, it just, I think having this little amount of time, going all in, committing to this person, like, I date people, like, probably how I would, like, be with a husband. Like, honestly, I'm with you all the time. I see you day in and day out. We're spending all this time together. If I cannot do that and tolerate it for 3 months, what makes you think that we gonna last forever? Okay? And I'm just saying, like, that's just being real. And I know sometimes I've had relationships where, like, it's like a big blowout thing and it doesn't really end smoothly, which is why it happened so abruptly. But, like, kind of the same thing. Like, if you're not able to, like, rekindle it and, like, fix it just within, like, the short amount of time that you've spent together, like, you guys don't care enough about each other. And that's just me keeping it a buck. Like, sorry, I got passionate, I clapped. But that's just me keeping it a buck. Like, I just don't think you guys are really there, and that just is what it is. But that's why I don't feel like I should feel a way about dating people or being with people frequently or for short amounts of time, because I feel like whenever it is that person, then, oh, who dat? I need to turn this off, sorry. Whenever it is that person, like, you're gonna be able to get past this, and, you know, it's just gonna happen more smoothly, and time is gonna fly, and that's just kind of what I'm waiting for. So I don't mind dating people. Every time I date someone, I learn something about myself. I learn something about how I handle things, because, I mean, I know I talk a lot on this, like, dating podcast, but I have some things to fix, and I definitely know, like, when I'm being insensitive or when I'm being not really picking and choosing my battles. Like, I'm a very prideful person myself, so, like, I know there's things I need to work on, and each person I date, like, I kind of learn a little bit more about myself, which I like, because I feel like if I didn't go through this, or I didn't get to know these people and have these interactions with them, then I probably wouldn't grow either. And it's definitely a process, and I see what people mean, like, long term and, like, a lifetime of commitment to someone, like, that is not easy. I literally can barely last 3 months, okay? So I'm just starting to understand, like, it's not about finding, in my opinion at least, I don't think it's about finding a soulmate, like, who was made for you. I think it's about who you're willing to adjust to, and who you're willing to kind of meet in the middle with, you know? Because, like, I would never want to date someone and feel like I'm changing who they are to be who I want. And I feel like I've done that before, and I've wanted that before, and even vice versa. I feel like people have done it to me and they want me to change who I am. And it's like, I am okay with, and I really do like this word, I'm okay with adapting, but like I don't want to feel like I'm changing who I am. And I still have some traits that I think I push onto other people, and I've definitely dated people who do the same thing to me. And it's just like, it's not a good feeling. It makes you kind of lose yourself and get mixed up and lost in priorities that you have and goals that you have. And you know, you really just have to find the main things in life that you love and you prioritize, and find someone with those similar priorities, and literally just adapt to each other's lifestyles. You know, you should be able to kind of come together as one, not really have to, I don't know. I just feel like you have to be willing to meet in the middle with the person. And the person that it's supposed to be, I think naturally that'll happen. And maybe some conversations need to be had, or, you know, obviously we all have our hiccups and ups and downs, but I think, you know, everyone finds a person that it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? And if it's not worth it, then it's just not worth it. And, you know, like Ariana Grande said, thank you next. I'm grateful for it. I've learned from it. But it just didn't work out or whatever. Okay. And I think that's that. That's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Thank you oh so much for tuning in. Thank you to everyone who's been rocking with me. I know I'm a little inconsistent, but baby, we working on it. Okay, a lot of life is going on, and I'm just excited for what's to come. I hope you guys like my setup. Definitely check out my IG and my TikTok, because I posted pretty much the, I guess like the snippet. You guys hear my stomach growl? I literally have to eat. Pretty much a snippet clip of how I pretty much got it together. Shout out to my mom for helping me. She's the best. Like, she's pretty much a pro at this, so I'm excited to be filming here. I'm excited for you guys to kind of just see what's to come. And I love you guys. Make sure you follow me on IG at Nick Your Average Girl, as well as TikTok, same handle at Nick Your Average Girl. And yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.